Dog sled, humans, dog sled. So the cool thing about this sled is the first across the finish line. You guys want to touch it? Yeah, probably should. Championship dog sled right there. So basically this sled was Dallas's finishing sled. It's basically the lightest sled you could possibly have with a certain number of dogs pulling you. And yeah, he didn't use this the entire race, but he used it in about the last 250 miles. Basically everything and anything you don't need isn't here. So the sled is very different than yours because you're not competing to race in Iditarod. Basically in the sled bag here is like all dog gear. There's pretty much a sleeping bag in there for you and food, and that's about it. Because we're not the athlete. No one cares about us. We care about the dogs. So they got jackets, booties, food, a cooker to make them a hot meal, fuel for your cooker, dry shoes. Then their cooler back here is for that hot soup that you make, and then you'll give them some soup out on the trail as well. Basically it's warm water, meat, kibble, fat, so forth. But the sled driving now, because we're not on an expedition, you don't have a sled bag. We're not carrying food or gear for dogs. You're carrying your passenger. Passenger sits down, hangs on, takes pictures. That's easy, right? Mushing now, a little more instruction as you can imagine. So driving a dog sled is probably like nothing you all have ever done. Basically, if you ski or snowboard, it's not like that. Snow machining, not like that. Ice skating, not like that. So the rule number one of being a musher, and if you want your novice mushing card, which you'll get if you complete this tour, is don't ever let go of this sled. If you don't, basically the reason why is you never lose a dog team, period. Okay? Russians, Alaskans, Norwegians, Swedish, it's a universal rule. You never, ever, ever, ever lose a dog team. If your hands never leave this handlebar, you'll never lose them, right? So you can crash a lot, and that's part of being a musher. Letting go of a dog team and hiking for 30 miles isn't part of being a musher. You hired us to take you on a dog sledding tour, not a hiking tour, right? You guys just went on a hike yesterday. I imagine, right? Some of y'all are telling me, yeah. So yeah, don't ever let go of the handlebars, period, right? You can crash, cool. I've been drugged really far, part of the gig. If you crash and hold on and the dogs stop miraculously and you can upright the sled, you just leveled up into being an intermediate dog musher. I'll give you like a free dog booty or something. How about that? So yeah, that's rule number one is you never let go of these handlebars. Basically, steering a dog sled, it's very subtle. Your dogs are doing the steering and you're mitigating the end of a whip because your dogs are right in front of you. So to go to the left, you put pressure on the left ski. To go right, you put pressure on the right ski. Very, very gradual, very, very long arcing turns. We have one sharp turn, and it's at the end of the entire mush, kind of testing your mushing skills. But yeah, very straightforward. Pressure here, and you're good to go. Basically, the dogs love their job to the point where they go as fast as they can for as long as they can. Basically, we're going to ask them to go on a 4-mile mush. If you let them go top speed, they can probably go a mile. So you have to slow the dogs down the entire time. Yeah, you gotta pay attention. They're gonna get rowdy. So that being said, we need to slow them down the entire time. We run our dogs their entire lives at 8 to 10 miles an hour. Well, as a novice musher, and I know this because I take novice people out all the time, you go way too fast, they're going way too slow. So I have a dog team, and I set speed, because I've been on a dog sled more than I've driven a vehicle all winter. So to keep them at a good speed, you need to use the drag, conveniently located between your skis. Pressure on that will slow them down. Basically, if you stand on the skis, that's full power. It's like putting the pedal to your car to the floor. You don't want them to do that. You will crash if the dog team in full speed. So you ride the drag. Basically, as we leave on the trail, I want everyone to stay about 10 to 15 feet apart. between dog teams, but I want us to all travel as a caravan. What that tells me is you're all going the right speed. If I have one dog team that's a quarter-mile back, I'm going to stop the tour, come talk to you, and be like, what's going on? Are you riding the drag too much? Are you nervous, scared, whatever? Let them do their job, right? But if your dog team is like right on the butt, give them a little more resistance. Basically, things you need to consider. How big are your dogs? How heavy is the sled? If you have 16 mini horses and you have like 50-pound sled, I've stood on the drag with all my weight and we're not slowing down, right? That's 170 pounds of weight on the drag and it's not doing anything. We have another brake. It's called the spike brake. It's this giant bar. Attached to the bar are 4 really sharp spikes. So it's like, hey Elliot, you know that thing you said about putting a lot of resistance on there and we're not slowing down? If you use the bar and the spikes, you will slow them down a lot, okay? So basically soft resistance on that will slow them down very, 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 very quickly and very aggressive slow. So to stop, you need to put not one, but all of your weight on that brake bar and do not move. Okay, you see my hands are still here, my feet are here. If you stop a dog team and you're like, all right, we're stopped, we're good, and you step off, guess what? They're gonna pull the sled away. These dogs are always trying to move forward. Regardless if they're stopped, they're gonna go, right? That's what their entire life, that's what 100 years of breeding has gotten us. So, when you're stopped, you stand here, don't fiddle with hands, gloves. You see what rule I'm breaking right now. I let go of the handlebars. Because these dogs are so powerful, they will pop the sled out from under your feet as well. Leaving you on your butt with a loose dog team. Again, your hike, we'll be nice and we won't charge you for an extra part of the tour, which is your snow machine ride and a hike. So basically, when you're stopped, you still need to have a hand, if you need to mess with things, on the handlebar. So here, stop, get your phone out, give it to your passenger. When you're ready to go, you're going to reverse the order of what you did to stop them. So basically, with all your weight on the bar, you're going to go 1 foot off, 1 foot's going to get to the ski. So now you have about 50% of your weight on the spike. And then when you let pressure off the spike, again, they're going to take off, hit the drag right away. You'll be amazed. I know. A 30-second break gave these dogs all their power back. And the race dogs, how far we're running today would be a joke to call it a warm-up. These dogs just won an 800-mile race. 4 miles for them is like literally nothing. So, do you guys have any questions, concerns, comments, compliments, insults? Yes.
So, when you reversed what you were doing, I see your left foot is on the left ski.
From here?
Yeah.
Okay,
And
reverse.
Yep.
Okay.
So doesn't that make you turn left if they were going forward? Or
No.
Okay.
Your leaders are doing the steering.
Okay.
Basically, it's not, this sled I can steer like that,
Yeah.
your sled you can't.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. You can switch. We call it the two-step. Here, your foot's getting tired from riding the drag. You see how I'm going to both skis and going to the drag? What I want you to do is go to the drag with both feet and then swap. Because basically that's a lot of resistance for a 5-dog team, which is what you're taking out. So basically in that brief second, you're giving them full power, slow them down. Basically what I don't want you to do, and I see it all the time, is people want to go fast. This is not the sport for going fast. This is a sport for endurance. If you want to go fast, get on a snow machine and just rip down a lake, right? These dogs love to go fast, but these are race dogs. Like, these aren't tour dogs. If we hurt them, Dallas is going to kill me. So that is why I'm setting the speed for the tour. These dogs will go at a normal speed after about 100 miles of mushing. You can stand on the skis and you're going to go 8 miles an hour. Today, you're going to have to ride the drag. Basically, you're not going to ever go full, slow them down. Basically all the way up, slow them down. All the way up, slow them down. All the way up, slow them down. Basically what that does is it lets them sprint, and then you're going to slow them way back in their harness, and they're going to start looking back at you like, this person doesn't know what they're doing. So you're basically using the drag every now and then, 80% because they're going fast, 5% because they're slowing up, 10% because now we're at a good speed following the caravan, 20% because they're catching up. So you're always kind of riding the brake on the sled. Do you have any other questions?
And you'll help us take pictures once we're there, right? So we don't have to worry about taking pictures.
We're going to stop on the trail,
Okay.
and that's when your passenger is going to swap out with you as the musher, and from there we'll get pictures. Right now these dogs are ready to go. They don't wait around that long in harness to go. And the pictures are crazy, right? They're all barking, lunging. But when we get stopped, like I said, when your passenger goes to grab the sled, make sure someone's still standing on that spike. Basically, you don't have an anchor, which is what we use on a dog sled, because they're 4 really sharp knives under the torque and power of 5 dogs. Way too dangerous for novice mushers. So basically, that's why we always instruct you to just stand here. Okay? Do you guys have any other questions?
So on the switch, just stand on the brake.
Yeah,
Until our person.
Yeah, until they stand over on the brake as well. Yeah, just because, like, if you let go of this, even on 1 foot, and they're ready to go, you're going to feel them irking you down the trail. I saw yesterday, someone was just like, hey, cool, we're good. There goes their dog team. One of these dogs, sleds, people, humans, snow machines, trees, they don't care what's in their way. They'll ram that sled into the sled in front of them. They'll pass the other sled. They'll smash you into a tree. These dogs just run, right? Everything else here is your responsibility. That's all we ask them to do. You run, you eat, you sleep, you get love, massage, cuddles, affection, attention, so forth. So they're doing their job. Now it's up for you. Once we step on the sled, they're the guide. I'm just here to translate between their world and ours because it makes it a little bit easier. So it's a lot of information, right, in a short amount of time. Biggest thing is hang on. If you cannot steer, we've set up the trail, you don't have to steer at all. You will have to steer around some corners, but you can ping pong and you'll be fine. So hang on, make sure you slow them down, okay, at a consistent rate so you're staying up with the caravan. Make sure you can slow them down more with the spikes. Make sure you can stop, and then when you're ready to go, make sure that you lift up and get to that drag right away when you're ready to go. So hang on, slow down more, stop, go. Got it? Y'all ready? Anyone nervous after that? Good.
So how many times, how often you tend to lose like a dog team then?
Every day.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. No, not every day. Because I'm such an amazing teacher, not often. But it happens. But don't lose the dog team. Basically, that's what it comes down to. One, you'll never know where they're at. If for us, when we're out 80 miles from a canvas wall pet, if I lost the sled, I pretty much just lost my life. There goes my sleeping bag, my food, my lighter, my fire kit, my axe for building a fire. Obviously, we're not giving you that experience. If you lose a sled, you lose a sled. But if you want the real deal experience, which is why I'm sure y'all are out here, don't let go. They'll stop at some point. You're not driving 14 dogs that can pull you for a mile, basically on the face. Yeah, don't let go. That's like the first rule. Everything else, driving a dog team, slowing them down is important, but not losing them is like priority. Alright? So where's my mushing group 1? You guys remember? 2, 4, 6. Wait. Where's my group of 5? Are you all here?
We're the group of 5.
You are all the group of 5? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. And then what I can do is take one of my solo travelers. Actually, I need to take you with the boot, right? Okay, so yeah, you're going mushing first. You're getting on my sled. Okay, we're in the front. Who's riding and driving out of your group of 5 now? Driver? Where's your passenger? Okay, I'm going to put you on team 2.
You want to drive?
Rider and driver.
No, you drive first.
Okay,
I drive first? Okay.
I'm going to give you team 3, and you're getting team 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, when we're ready in the yard, let's just get on the sled, get your passenger down, and let's hit the train. Like I said, they don't wait around very much. They're freaking out. Obviously, you guys have been hurt. And then everyone out into the yard, once we launch the dog teams, Sean's going to pick you up and give you a kennel tour. And then when I get back with the sleds, I'll have you come down and we'll hop on the sleds. So during the kennel tour, decide amongst you all who wants to ride and drive, okay? Just so we're not out in the crazy dog yard trying to figure it out. All right? Okay, let's head out there. Let's do it.
So what? It's wherever you want, babe. I thought you would want to go first because I know you really want to do this.
I never thought I would actually do it. Thank you. Are you going first?
We're in 3. Oh no, I'm a passenger first. Okay.
So many dogs. Yeah, right? So what you want to do? You want to drive first or passenger first? I drive first or passenger? Okay.
You want to take a picture?
Mm-hmm.
No, with the dog.
Okay. They want to go like right now. Like, let us go. So what?
Is that the cheetah?
Not sure. see him just trying to take off.
You want me to take a picture of you guys on the sled?
Sure.
Thank you.
Ooh, that okay? No, he's not. We're just volunteers out here. Oh. No. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Alright, you want to put one foot on your handle. And then raise both hands on the handlebar. And then you can put one foot on the brake. And I'm going to pull this up and then you're ready to go.
Okay.
Like, let go a little bit so they can pull you. And then you can continue. Let go. Let it go. Let him go.
You like it? Is it fun?
Yeah.
Do you have your finger on the drag?
A little bit. Actually, I'm almost like completely off now. I'm actually completely off the drag now. Wow. That's another one. That's actually quite nice. This actually is
With the Iditarod dog, I won the championship, 800 miles this year. Yeah, 800. Anyway, here I am. 5 of them.
Iditarod.
Iditarod.
Yep, thanks, babe. I'm actually off the brake completely.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not bad?
No.
I got so nervous. Look at this place. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, look at that. This is actually quite nice.
It's just like so awesome. You need to find me a dog for you. Oh, wait.
Let's catch up with him.
Wait, you're doing the video, right?
Yep, right now I
You
am.
can put this on
YouTube or whatever.
YouTube and like play it for me every day. I'll be like, this is my favorite memory ever.
We're like catching up to them. I'm gonna like slow us down for a minute.
Why?
Because they're stopped. They're completely stopped up ahead.
Okay, well go ahead.
I just let go.
Are you off the sled?
I'm completely off right now. Good, buddy. Go, go.
There we go.
There. Oh, shit. Wow.
Yep. Yep.
I'm here.
Okay, I was like, we lost you.
You almost did.
Oh, because I used my momentum from our time with the kayak.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to run into people.
I don't know how to flip. Oh, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, everyone at the head is going so slow.
Well, that's something like that. I think it's because we're going up a hill.
Oh, I mean, none of us are going slow.
Drag on.
I can see what they mean about not needing to steer. I mean, it's not like we can go anywhere else.
Yeah. So amazing. Are you having fun?
Yeah. Someone's off ahead stopped completely. I can load his face. They're like, I want to go. I want to go now. Okay.
Oh, you want me to help you?
I'm trying to give them momentum again. There we go. Oh, yeah. See, I'm completely off the brake right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The max speed's not too bad.
So you haven't been using the drag too much?
I'm off the drag completely.
Oh, wow.
My feet are they're the side rails. Probably because it's only 5 dogs. I mean, if you had like 12, I imagine you'd be going really fast. Yeah, look at all that. Beautiful. All the snow.
Wow, I'm so excited about your video.
I feel like it's been a long time since I've seen pine trees. You know?
Yeah.
I see them all the time in Connecticut. I don't think I rarely see them in DC, but I never in Texas.
I mean, this landscape here is so pretty.
Yeah.
You're the best ever, babe. Thank you. So fun. Well, they definitely make the course where we can't go off course.
Yeah. They do seem to enjoy their job.
I like to listen to them.
Did you do a selfie? Wait, do another one. Oh!
Silver! What? Felt like I was so close to that edge.
Oh yeah, I keep reaching my hand out and touching the side. Oh, there's a snow guy behind us.
Who's behind us?
The guy on a snowmobile.
Probably just keep an eye on that.
Yeah. I'm not on the brake at all.
Wow.
I might need to, because I'm going to catch up to him.
Oh, yeah. Now are you on the
Yep, I am now. You can hear it. Go, go!
That's so cute.
It seems so small, too. I always envisioned them to be bigger dogs, you know?
Yeah. So we got some good. Pick it up the week. What kind of dogs are they? They look so like mixed breed.
Husky mix or something?
Yeah, I mean, they're like
That's why it's like, they keep talking about Yukon around here. Every time I'm kind of like Yukon, like University of Connecticut.
Yukon Territory. I forgot where it is. I have to look it up on the map.
But it makes sense to me now, like why, you know, in Connecticut, Yukon, it's always known that the Yukon is the Yukon Huskies, like the basketball team.
Oh.
So it's like, oh, maybe that's why they chose Huskies, because Yukon, or University of Connecticut.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not on a break, right? No, I'm not on any break.
Huh?
No, I said I'm not on any breaks.
I don't think Desiree is either. Oh, a little bit. Oh, so she's getting closer to it.
Yeah.
They're not two. That's beautiful.
It's beautiful landscape, though.
It's so pretty.
Yeah.
I just keep watching the dogs, and then I'm like, stop. And then I'm like, look at the trees. Yeah, I like the sound, you know. Yeah, I did. Now I hear the snowmobile.
Well, maybe we can ask to go first next time,
No.
like when you drive.
No, this is fine.
No, seriously. 'Cause
No,
snowmobile's only going to be in the back.
it's okay. I like seeing people ahead of me. Well, I think the main guy's in the front.
Have a nice day.
Hold on.
Now you'll see it when you drive. Some good other trails going too.
Oh, someone's taking a shit.
In mid-run.
Oh, I don't know why I should do that. Well, that makes sense. Although I like to go 800 miles in 8 days. They shit on the run. It's really beautiful.
see it, yeah.
Yeah,
Eating the snow.
Yeah.
You just scooped it up. That's
I'm
smart.
thirsty.
That's really smart. Smart dogs. Yeah, I'm like not even on the brake at all. I've been off the brake this entire time now.
It just feels like it just gets up against the wall.
Hmm.
Like, oh, look, that's okay.
Yep.
Oh, it's right time to switch. So stay on the brake.
Yep.
You step off the line and then I go on.
Give my cell phone.
Hold on, keep that.
I got it.
Here.
See the middle butt? Okay, okay. Okay. So Lance is getting snow on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Swap out?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just swapped.
How's your drive?
Say again?
How's your mush?
It was good, yeah.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, I barely needed to use the brake actually.
That's better.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah?
You gotta,
Is it because it's fresh snow?
yeah,
Oh,
and you only have 5 dogs.
oh, okay.
If you were to break 12 dogs, you would have a lot of pressure.
Okay.
You have Gamble and Moses.
No.
Gamble. He's the Yellow Rose leader.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's the oldest dog on the race team.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. Blue's a finisher. He's a young dog. He's 3.
Wow.
So you finish with Sean. And you have Frisbee and Yak. Frisbee, Yak. Both Iditarod champions.
Wow, that's amazing. Thanks
Yeah,
for
so you
letting
have
us
the Yellow
know.
Roses.
Both
right
of
there.
them?
No,
Wow.
just Gamble.
Just Gamble.
Yeah, it's a darker dog.
Oh my gosh,
You
that's
can go a thumbs up and we're going to leave. Let's try to stay like it's a caravan again.
okay.
Right?
Nay! Gosh, she can't turn around.
Oh, you did. Wow.
Oh, sorry.
I could taunt him by owling.
You silly bear.
You might be a little bit stuck with the snow, so that it helps to.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he said it wasn't raining.
Actually going pretty decent speed now.
Really?
I think, right? Well, maybe it just feels that way since I'm sitting down. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. It feels fast, but I'm not using the drag yet. Maybe if we get too close, I will. I can't believe we got the Golden Rose champions with us.
Mm.
Or one of them. Like they're going. Oh.
Nope, watch out, I'm gonna stop him.
Oh, here. I got you there.
Oh, look at that.
Wow. Oh, are we stopping?
Yeah, stop.
That black one is the champion. Is the Golden Rose champion. Oh wow.
They really want to get going. I'll give them a couple minutes to get up ahead. Let me know when you want to go.
I'm trying to. Okay, go. I had to pick up the brake.
Yeah.
But no, it didn't.
so many pine trees, you know?
So beautiful.
Yeah. It's been so long since I've seen so many pines in such close density. Oh, yeah.
This is what I imagined dog sledding to be. I always saw it on an open field.
Oh, yeah. That's really something to look at. Yeah, I noticed that. It clumps up. That's why you need the snow boot covers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, that is the lodge there, is it? Oh, wait, did someone get away? Look at that. Oh,
No,
wait.
no,
Oh,
they're
no,
just,
it's inside a fence. That's inside a fence.
They're
Never
in
mind.
the kennel. They just have a good fence. They're having so much fun. They look like Whitney Dukes.
Mm-hmm. Supposed to be some other cabin of some kind.
Look at that. Are we back?
Are we? Oh, yes we are. Oh, we sound like little puppies. That's what they are. Oh, that's cute. Puppies.
Yeah, we're on a race. Look at that. We're coming in strong. You're so reckless.
Alright, I can help you here. You can get off.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We get to do this all day.
Sometimes yes. All day and all night.
No.
I was worried because I was like following you. So like,
Thank you guys. That is good. That is good. Good job. Good job.
No, he's happy.
Yes, you do so good.
Oh, look at that. They're rolling around in the snow.
It's amazing.
the dogs didn't get out of control.
No, it's amazing.
Actually, I barely used the brake.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so they kind of knew.
I guess.
Someone stopped.
So how was it?
It's pretty good. Pretty fun. I barely had to use the brake. I had to use it only if someone was in my way. 'Cause it's a one-track course. So I think even if you were to actually like let go and lose it, there's only one path I can go until the end here. But,
Did you have to still stay on the drag with one foot the whole time? Or
say again?
did you still have to keep one foot on the drag the whole time?
Oh no! I mean, actually, for most of it, I just wasn't on the drag at all.
Oh, okay.
I just had to basically take one foot and push on the drag to slow down when someone in front of me was getting in the way.
So on the one that they won 2 weeks ago, and I think this one's a winner too. He ran the race. I'm not sure about those two.
Will you take my picture with the winner?
And then if two more like can go to the back sled, okay? Whoever wants to.
Okay, he looks up.
I'll hold it so you can walk. Move your feet around if you need to. All the movement for the moment. But the first right there, keep the big break underneath it. That's the small break. So I tell people in the beginning, you're kind of where that big break is. You're going to not hands to be right there. And you're trying to stop and stay stuck. Got it. Right now we're keeping a little bit because the dogs know that we're not going anywhere. But usually,
I'm gonna do my
and I'm
Marco
never
Polo
going to
really
tip it, so I'll make sure someone knows it.
I'm gonna do my Marco Polo really quick.
For the most part, I'm not sure how they've been running, but sometimes you're using a little bit of pressure on this break the whole time. Sometimes it's no pressure at all, it's got perfect cruise control, and you just go. And we're seeing how close you're getting to that seat every year. You feel like you're going to tip the other way.
Yeah, thanks, man. That was pretty fun.
Guys, think.
Good teaching.
Great.
High
Yeah.
five.
It was good teaching.
job.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. And thanks for telling us about the dogs up there.
Brother Campbell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, because yeah.
He also won in 2016, so
Oh,
he's
the
also a
fastest, the
two-time.
fastest dog, right?
He's
Or
the
that's
fastest.
his team.
He's the fastest, and then he's the oldest.
Really?
He's retired after this season from racing. Obviously, you see he's doing very well.
Yeah.
And his retirement will be on tours, but because Gamble is just still in such good health at an older age, he'll be in pseudo-retirement. So he'll be a lead dog that helps us train
Okay.
puppy leaders.
Okay.
Yeah,
So he did awesome.
yeah, of course he did. He's our yellow rose
great.
leader.
What about the middle one?
Blue?
Yeah, he was great too. They're all
Mr.
great.
Blue?
I don't know, he had a different personality to him.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
Sweet Blueberry.
oh,
He gives good hugs too.
yeah, oh, they were great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. How are the puppies? Good. Are they a little rambunctious? Just a little bit, right? You see their love for running already, huh? They just run around. Nice. Yeah. All right, you guys ready to hit the trail? Cool. I think they're ready.
Hey. Oh, you're so good.
entire time?
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, the entire time.
So in the back is black dog beast. Right in the
Can we get down?
beast. Just won the
There you go.
Can you see the dogs?
Yep.
in the middle on the left that was bananas. On the right that
Yo,
looks
are they like Bedlam?
Bedlam.
This is Bedlam.
Okay. It's hard to see from there, but so then Bedlam, it looks like a lead on the left.
Yeah, he's getting rambunctious now. Say what? Yeah.
Good. Yeah, so
You guys do this for how many hours?
a lot. Yeah. Trust me, by the end of it, you're wondering why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Man, it's definitely a lot of type 2 fun out there where you're like, it's 40 below zero, and what am I doing out here? Really want to be back in traffic in 100% humidity. Of the night.
Oh yeah, of course.
Anya also finished with my new ride.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
She's
man.
quiet about it. But
That's
she's
so cool.
way more badass than me. So, again, my name is Sean. I've been working here since last summer, and I just finished my first ride this year.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Pumped about it. And, you know, you guys just ran, like, literally the best sled dogs in the world, like, measurably. They just won it 2 weeks ago, and some of them were in my group, and they could have easily been plugged in with Dallas's team. I just ran, like, a little bit more dialed back schedule, like a couple extra hours of rest and maybe some shorter runs, 45 miles, not 50, and you know, a 6-hour rest, not 5-hour rest, and it adds up.
Oh.
So I got 30th place instead of first.
Oh,
You know, it's okay. Hey, there was
Wait,
like
how many-
47 teams in it, so I wasn't last, and
Okay, that's
and
right.
the
You
dogs
first
still,
one.
yeah, the dogs still felt that like they won it, so you know, that's what's important.
How many days was it?
For me, it was 9.5 days. And for Dallas, it was under 8 days, like just under.
Wow.
And
That's not too bad. I mean, you weren't that far off.
yeah, it's like a day and a half, like,
Yeah.
you know,
How many teams were running from this kennel? Like,
2. It was
oh,
just me and
boat,
Dallas.
yeah, okay. Wow.
Yeah, and I helped train Dallas' team, so like,
That's
I
so cool.
haven't talked to Dallas a whole lot since he finished, but I kind of want to talk to him, sit him down, and be like, hey, like, I don't want to take full credit for your victory. But I did, like, feed the dogs every day and help them get miles on them. So like, you're welcome in a sense, right? You know, I didn't. It was all him, man. He's like a total beast out there, just like no sleep. I mean, that's the hardest part for the mushers is like you just like aren't sleeping very much. So every dog you see out here is an Alaskan Husky, not to be confused with Siberians. Those guys are the Disney movie dogs. We kind of like secretly refer to them as like the models, the sled dogs. These guys are like the real deal. I mean, the Siberian Huskies are a pure breed, so they have like an official standard appearance that they're supposed to look like, and you breed for that appearance primarily. These guys are not bred for their appearance. Even though they're all the same breed, they all look different. You got a blonde dog and a black dog and pointy ears and floppy ears and 80 pounds and 40 pounds, and we're breeding for their ability to run and pull, their drive, their desire, their
appetite, their recovery rate, you know, how thick or how thin is their coat, and you know, the last thing on our mind is, are their eyes blue? You know, we have a couple blue-eyed dogs, for the most part, just the way it worked out. Brown-eyed dogs. You might have feared for your life out there when you started. You're like, oh my gosh, it's too. Okay, I'm fine, I'm totally fine. But with 14 dogs, it's like definitely pretty intense. I'm gonna be like I'm standing on that bar break, both feet, rooster tail of snow coming up, and I'm still going too fast. And I'm like, guys, we have like 1,000 more miles to go. Can we maybe just kind of turn it down a little bit? And so you got to get through those first few runs to kind of get them to calm down a little bit and enter into their cruise control mode. Because we really want them going like 9 miles an hour, a nice, smooth, steady trot. Like you might have noticed, there's probably a dog on your team that was just like, and they weren't like, wow, they pull so hard. They're just like moving, right? They're just nice and easy, and that's what they can do forever. And that's what you're looking for from those top dogs, is not who pulls the hardest, but who is got the most effortless looking movement. You start with 14, but you can finish with as little as 5. And you can send any dog home at any one of the 22 checkpoints for any reason. Literally, just because you don't want to take care of 14 dogs, you can send home half your team. But usually it's going to be more because this dog's going half a mile an hour slower. This dog, and they'll go the whole way. They just don't want to go 10 miles an hour, they go 9.5. And now they're not pulling. And when you're melting snow in a pot at minus 40 degrees for a dog that's not helping your forward progress, then you'll fully appreciate what I'm trying to say. It's like you don't want a dog with a slack tug line continuing on.
I didn't know you can send dogs home. So how does that work? You like just drop them off and someone drives it back, or?
Yeah, there's a stationed veterinarian at every single checkpoint. They check all of your dogs on your team, and then when you hand a dog off to that veterinarian, they're gonna get whatever their issue is addressed. You know, do they have sore wrist? Okay, we'll wrap it, massage it, and put ointment on it. You know, lay down a nice bed for them, and they can hang out until they get a flight home. So there's like bush planes, that like little 2-seater planes that they can fly from like a really remote checkpoint to like a village checkpoint, which is like, you know, a village of 100 people, but that's like got an actual airstrip where they can land a bigger plane and then take it from that checkpoint to Anchorage. And then they get to Anchorage, and they actually have this program with a woman's like jail or something, where they like send them to this jail, and if they're like on their best behavior, so that they can just like hang out with the dog until we come and pick them up. Whoever's like hanging at home drives down to Anchorage and grabs the dog and brings him back home. So it's a pretty cool little program there.
Wow.
Cool.
So yeah, you know, you only really need 9 or 10 dogs to go the speed we're trying to go. Past that, you're just bringing the bench players with you, essentially. You don't need 14, but you are planning on sending dogs home during the race. There have been people that have won the race with all 14, but more times than not, they're finishing somewhere in that 9 or 10 dog range.
So 14's the max. You're not allowed to take any more than that.
No more, and you can't. No dog that starts the race. You're not allowed to introduce a new dog from the start, right? Whoever starts the race, like that's your team, and there's no other dog allowed to be on your team. They have a microchip in all the dogs, the size of a grain of rice that's inserted in like underneath their skin, and so you can give an ID to all the dogs. So you can't like be accused of like, oh, that dog looks a little different.
Fresh.
Right, and now we know.
Yeah.
This is the same beeping the same number at the start that it did at the finish.
How many dogs did Dallas finish with?
I think he finished with like 9. I think.
And you, how many did you finish
I
with?
finished also with 9.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was either 9, might have been 8. I sent a dog home at like the very last checkpoint, like 30 miles from the end, because he was just like a little off, and I'm just like, well, I can send him home, and I only got 30 miles, and I don't like need him, and it wasn't like even a legit reason. I was just like had like a bad feeling. I just sent him home off of like a gut instinct. You know?
What's the most common reason to send them home?
What's that?
What's the most common reason to send them home?
It literally is going to be like I don't know, maybe the dog's moving, and let's say like a moose has traveled on that trail the day before. Well, like we're walking around on this, and we're not stepping through the snow, but a moose walks around on this exact same spot, and they go this deep into the snow, and now you got this hole that's this deep on the trail, And so they don't really like look where they're going. They're just like on the trail doing this, and they might like take a step and do that, and just tweak their shoulder, and now they're just like a little off, and they would be fine in 24 hours, but you don't have that luxury. So you send them home, and by the time they're home, they're like, we're wondering why that dog got sent home, although they put that in the paperwork. It could be the same thing with a wrist, could be like a broken toenail, it could be literally like a dry spot on their foot that is cracked, and they're running a little off. I had that with one of my dogs, and I was like, are you serious? Like, my feet are cracked, and you're telling me, like, that's bothering me that much? He's like, yeah. And I was like, all right, fine, and go home, you know, and it could just be speed. Like, they're going to go the whole way. Like, I had a dog, Bishop, who's on one of y'all's leaders, probably, definitely. He's like a small, brown, tannish dog, and he, like, pretty much, his thing is, like, I don't pull. Like, when we're going flat, straight, and easy, he's just like, I'm not going to pull, I'm just going to keep moving, whatever. And then when it's up a hill, he's charging up the hill. When I don't know where we are, he's the one finding the direction. So, like, his niche is like, okay, I'm not going to be the one pulling you that fast, but I have that experience. He's, you know, a Iditarod winner, but he's just a slower dog. And I was okay with that. But sometimes you'll see a dog slow down throughout the race, and then that's a good enough reason, like, hey, they're going just a mile an hour slower, they go the whole way, they're doing fine, but you just kind of want to keep dogs that are going to help your forward progress.
So you and Dallas are technically competitors, so how do you choose which you guys get which dogs?
It's his choice. Like, he takes the best 14, I take the next best. We're not like, he's like trying to win it, and I have like the luxury of taking like the, you know, second team and just getting them experience. And now the team I took, some of them never ran the Iditarod before. Now they're going to be that much more experienced and ready to run next year, and maybe eligible to run with Dallas on that competitive team.
Okay.
So it's kind of a win-win. I get to run the Iditarod, super cool, and then he gets 14 dogs that experience the Iditarod start with 1,000 dogs and 4 square block radius in downtown Anchorage, ready to blast off across the state. It's like, you can't mimic that in training. Like, even with 4 dog teams here, imagine 100 dog teams that are 14 dogs, and they're all mushing past each other. They start with 2-minute intervals, so you don't, it's not like a shotgun start.
How many
There could be, this year was 47,
Okay.
there's been as many as 100, typically like 60 or 70, and over here was a little less. It can be as wide as like this, or it can be as wide as like from that fence to this house.
So you're able to pass, I think.
Sometimes, yes. Other times you're like, you have to pass, but there's really not any room, but you just kind of figure it out. But you try to wait for like a good spot, you know, especially if you're passing like from behind. You're like, the person behind you, like, hey, I want to pass. And it's in your best interest to let them pass, because if your team's going slower, you let the faster team in front of you. Now that slower team is going to be chasing the faster team and going maybe just a little bit faster, even if it's just for an hour. So it's in everybody's best interest to kind of yield to the person going faster. This year we did a COVID like alternate route, and you went out and then turned around out of Ghost Town and then came back to the start. So you had like teams that were going out to the turnaround and teams that were coming back, so we're passing head on.
Was
So
that
you can't really pick like when you're passing. Like when you see each other, that's when you're passing.
Oh.
So it was a little bit tricky, and like everybody was like super sleep deprived, and it was like minus 40 degrees, and you're just like kind of grumpy. And so there's like, my passes went fairly well, but I just like remember seeing people passing me where I was camping, and they were just like, another pass. Because you just sometimes you get dogs get zipped up, and you gotta, you know, separate them and burn like 10 minutes, and you're already on fumes. So we got race dogs over here. Row 1, 2, and 3. Those are the guys that just ran Iditarod. They're 3 to 6 years old. That's the prime race age. There's been dogs that are 11 years old that have finished the Iditarod. They let you know when they're ready to retire, and they just kind of turn around during a run that they typically will totally crush. And they'll just be like, hey, coach, like, I'm ready for a nap and a snack, you know? And we're like, all right, I don't blame you. So when they retire, we're going to send them to a new home, somewhere where they're likely going to be the best sled dog there. It could be they're not done running, they just don't want to run as far and as fast and as frequently. So we're going to get them to a recreational musher where we handpick where they go so that they can have a fulfilling, fun life, because they still want that active lifestyle. Just little bit more dialed back.
Who technically like owns the dogs while they're here? Is that Dallas or is that?
Dallas is like the legal owner of the dogs,
Ah.
and then we kind of categorize these dogs into different sections, and then we each take care of our own specific group. So I was in charge of taking care of the race dogs. We have Jofi, my coworker, is in charge of taking care of the tour dogs. That's this row. These guys are all retired Iditarod champions, mixed with the 2 and 3 year olds that aren't on the competitive level we're looking for, but they still love running. So they get to do these like 5-mile runs, and they love it. We'll walk and talk here and follow me, but this next row right here is the 1-year-old dog. Jofi also takes care of them. Those 1-year-old dogs are going to be just kind of learning how to get that harness on and not chew it. When they get to the gang line, you see how hectic it was with all of our race dogs. You know, with the 1-year-olds, it's just as hectic, but with a little less like organization. They're on everything, doing on for each other. And you just want to get those behavioral habits down where they're doing what they're supposed to do and they learn what the acceptable behaviors are. So you don't want to get a ton of miles on them. They're still physically developing. You just want to kind of get them out and back as much as you can. So we're going to keep them running about 5. You can pet him. Yeah, that's Profit. He's like going to literally combust if you don't.
So you have 2 dogs per leash?
So these zip lines are actually like not typical. It's a Dallas's design where so they can have a little bit more room to run. But we have 1 dog on each zip line. We want them close enough to their neighbors so that they can play with each other, but not, you know, get clipped onto like their snaps get clipped on or tangles. So you want them like close enough to lick and play and hang out, but hi Profit.
Please try.
I love Profit. I love you.
What's going on?
So our race dogs are mostly male. This year they're actually all male, but it was kind of a coincidence. But like statistically, it's going to be like 20% female typically. They're just a little bit smaller, and then you have to deal with them coming into heat. Like during the race, it's a huge distraction. I mean, sometimes they just kind of dogs get over it, but other times they're literally like not eating, not running, not resting. They're just like, I want her, right? And so, and then even when we're not racing, now if you have a female in heat, you can't just like stick them at a house, right? Now you got to put them in a pen, or you know, inside or something. You got to isolate them, and now you got to like build new places for that. And
So why are those dogs in the pen?
those guys are the puppies, so they're not big enough. They're 3 to 7 months old.
Can we go play with them?
That's our next on our list. So those guys, they get put at a house at about 8 to 10 months, and they're gonna. We have a bigger litter there that's gonna be graduating pretty soon. And then we got our 2-year-olds over here. These guys are going to be running mid-distance races, 150 to 400 mile distance at a very uncompetitive pace. We're just learning, teaching them how to get into that travel mode. We have like a lot of Disney themed litters over here, like Zazu, Pumbaa, Simba, and Olaf, and like all the, Dallas has a 10-year-old daughter, so she names all the dogs. And they're like, can you pick something besides the Disney theme for one? But it's actually kind of cute. Have it, Simba. Okay, Profit. Good boy. He's like, check it out. This is my house. It's not, I don't know how I feel about the red. We got like those themes for the litters. Profit and Bishop are brothers. North and West here are brothers.
Oh, what's going on?
And we love taking themes for litters. Like if you have any ideas,
Yeah, he's a good boy. Yeah, he's a good boy.
They're actually super sweet. Like, feel free to go and pet them. They're the cheese litter, so I think we're naming them like Cheddar and Brie and Whiz and. We had a Rob Stark here, yeah.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure, like. Yeah, we had a Game of Thrones litter. I love those names.
Look at them all. They all want attention.
Look at that. No, you're so good. You're so adorable. Yeah.
What do we got? We got all the white.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You guys doing?
You're skinny little things, aren't you? Yeah. Oh, hey, that's my tassel, buddy. Nope, that's not a toy. Oh. Yeah, what's going on? Oh, yeah, someone's a little bitey. Yeah, you're bitey, aren't you?
Yeah,
So bitey.
we fill up their houses with straw, and they,
What's going on?
when it's cold,
Go
they're
on.
going to be spending more time in the house, kind of sleeping, hunkering down. But like these guys, I think it's kind of incredible. Like I'm outside Sufferfest at 40 below, and then I go and check out Mater, and he's just like, "What up, dude?" Like rolling around in the snow, like got a little frost on the whiskers, but they're just like they've evolved up here. It's a 10,000-year-old breed, you know, and yeah, they came from Siberia across the Bering Land Bridge and been breeding for this environment. Like this is like where they thrive. They like are hot at 32 degrees. I mean, it's just like they prefer it to be -10.
So during the summer, are they still out here?
They're still out here, and they kind of like shed the coat. They turn their internal furnace down. They stay warm because of that calorie intake. These guys eat 10,000 calories a day in peak training, so that's where they draw their warmth from. So I'm gonna send you guys up this trail to that acre pen. We got some puppies hanging out in there. I might add these two into the group. I think they're in there because they know how to escape the pen, and then
How come you have them in separate pens? Are they?
we got different litters. We have one litter of 10, and it's like too much at once, so we separated them into 2 5s. That's a litter of 8 over there, and another big one back there. And they all get a chance to go into this pen each day and run around and play and be little puppies. So let's head on up this way, and I'll meet you guys up there. I'm gonna. How many dogs you see in there? 3 or 5? 3. All right, I'm gonna send these other 2 up.
Oh.
Thank you.
Uh-oh.
You know where to go.
Dogs got free.
Yeah, I let them in.
I guess I know where to go.
Watch your head and watch your step.
And love, you know, because they're so happy.
Little puppers.
We're coming back out, yeah.
Oh, and Andy, okay.
Hmm?
Oh, it's like when to finish. I'll be more fish, that's when I'm finishing. Even when you use that. And that is true.
Okay. Well, it's just like we can go and like, you know, get on in here. They're gonna finish up these last couple kibbles, and they're super friendly. This is kind of part of their training. They're like, you know, if you've ever been around puppies, they got like sharper teeth and little faster claws, and so they don't mean, you know, anything, but sometimes they'll scratch your hand or something. So just kind of be aware, like that beautiful hair you have. If you pick them up, they'll just take a chunk out. I have long hair as well, so I know that from personal experience. But this is kind of part of their training, is like for you guys to get in and touch them and love them and them smell you, and you know, during the Iditarod, there's thousands of fans on Anchorage. There's vets at each checkpoint, and they're all going to check all the dogs. There's fans and race officials, and we don't want them to be like intimidated by other people they've never met. And so, you know, this is kind of like, believe it or not, like cuddling puppies is training them. And yeah, so you guys can just go home and brag about how you trained an Iditarod champion team. And we hope these guys are going to be champs one day.
So do they run every day?
The puppies or the normal dogs or both? Yeah, I mean, like, we get those puppies in this pen as often as we can, almost every day. And then the rest of the group, they're on, like, the race dogs, they don't run every day, but they run still, like, 3,000 or 4,000 miles of training, and you'll do, like, a really intense week and then give them a week off. Or you'll do a really chill couple of weeks, where they, like, chill, as in, like, 40 miles a day instead of 100. So we just kind of...
These guys are hungry.
Yeah, they are always... So we're like, we train them... I mean, they have the genetic appetite, like that's a thing we're factoring in when we breed dogs. They're, you know, all our dogs here are born and raised here, 99% of them. And we want dogs with, like, a fierce appetite. You know, you don't want dogs while you're, you know, 500 miles into the race and they're sitting there picking out the kibbles, and they're like, oh, I really want chicken today. Like, you want a dog to see a bowl of food and just stick their face in it and not even care what's in it. And so it starts at a young age when we feed these group of 5 dogs, all eat out of a giant food dish. They have to kind of compete against each other for each bite, and they can't be, like, shy about it. They got to kind of nudge their brother out of the way, you know. And that's a good way for them to teach each other. And you can tell, like, this one looks like he's a little bit better at nudging his siblings out of the way. He's got an extra pound or two on him. But it's also just like some dogs are just better at holding weight than others. These guys eat twice a day, every single day.
This guy looks like his nose is like
did he get a little argument?
Yeah.
Did you do bad?
Oh.
What happened?
Oh.
Yeah, I think they got in a little...
You got into a scuffle?
And, you know, sometimes he doesn't even know it's there, it seems like.
So how many people usually compete in the Iditarod on average?
Yeah, so typically it's about 60 to 70 teams. This year with COVID, like, international travel was restricted, especially with dogs and stuff. And
That's more, so are there more international players that come in too?
yeah, there's, like, Norwegians are huge competitors. They, like, have their own 700 or 800 mile race up there, and there's been a few years where those guys kind of take over and win the race, and so those guys weren't in this year. And, like, people drive up from Montana and Michigan and you know, various spots in the lower 48 to come up here and run.
How did you, I'm being from Georgia.
Yeah.
When did you get exposed to this wonderful race?
Not in Georgia, yeah. I came up here to commercial fish for my aunt and uncle, and then I was, like, interested in trying a winter. I did a couple summers up here, and they you know, naturally, Alaska winter, like, the first thing that comes to mind is mushing. And they told me they knew a guy that won the Iditarod, and my previous employer, Jeff King, he won the 4 Iditarods, and I was like, that's pretty cool, like, Iditarod champ, and I was like, but just to double check, like, what is an Iditarod? I literally didn't know. And then I called him, and he was just like, yeah, dude, you commercial fish, you know how to work hard, you know how to be outside, like, we'll figure out the rest. And I just kind of learned over there, and ended up, yeah, I mean, like, all you need is just completely donate 100% of your time for 5 years, and have 0 off days and not get paid at all, and then you can do it, you know. The reason that not everyone can do it is because it's just like an all-consuming gig. Like, you wake up, this is what you're doing until you go to sleep, and you don't get, like, you might get a chill day here and there, but, like, they're so demanding, these guys. They also need to run so much and eat so much, and you need to trim, you know, there's 130 dogs, they all need their nails trimmed, like, 4 times a winter.
You have, like, a routine every day.
Yeah, I definitely have a little bit of a routine. And, yeah, so I got to run, I actually ran the Iditarod last year and did 900 miles of it, and I had 40 miles left, and I ran it, like, the trail on, turned into water, like it's just a massive pool of water, and I couldn't get through it, and I had to scratch like 40 miles from the finish.
Wow.
And then I got to get back to it this year and get to the finish line, and it was like a pretty special feeling after having gone through that.
What are you doing? Hey, knucklehead.
Were there other people that didn't finish because they got into the body of water too? Was
Yeah,
it
there
just
was me
because
and
it
two.
melted, or?
So there was me and 2 other people that all 3 of us teamed up to try to get through it, and we couldn't. And then there was 11 mushers behind us, and they got the race route rerouted around the water because we couldn't get through it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Actually, I was kind of wondering about
Yeah,
that.
I was like, that seems a little.
It's just like, you know.
I was wondering about that. Like, do you guys use like GPS or anything like that? Like, how do you know
I
that's
use
rerouted?
GPS, but mostly just text my girlfriend.
Oh.
The trail is like laid out in advance of your departure. They have like a trail crew that goes out, packs down the snow, puts wooden stakes 10 a mile every mile for 1,000 miles. Just imagine just like stick.
Huh.
Stick. Oh, only 9,998 to go. You know,
Wow.
and it's so getting lost out there is pretty. It's unlikely, although I certainly got I got lost this year for like 40 minutes, but like it's. He's like, oh, I'll get that here.
What about with blizzards or snowstorms?
Like,
Let go. Let go. Thank you.
He's gonna respond better to just a straight up shove. Like he might just have to shove. He's still learning the no thing, but
They're still babies.
yeah.
What about weather, like low visibility?
Yeah,
Does
so
that
like
happen?
sometimes it snows and blows in blizzards, and the stakes are hard to find. They have like little reflectors on them, and so they're almost easier to see at night. But yeah, I mean, there's been times where I've been on top of a mountain range, and an epic storm comes in, and I literally like can't see my lead dog, and I'm just like trying to find the next marker. The trail's like blowing in and disappearing, and I'm like, I hope the dogs know where we're going, and it's like it can be a little bit scary out there, but that's like an extreme situation that you don't see the whole race. And most of the time you're just like chilling, just like making sure your dogs are moving like they're supposed to be, and you know, occasionally that storm will come in, especially when you get to the coast. I mean, when you get to like the Bering Sea coast, like the weather is pretty rough, and it's almost never like it's always like something going on over there, and it's surprisingly a lot of hills.
Can I run to the last to the structure?
Yeah, absolutely. Just kind of wait for these guys to pass so they don't run you over, but it looks like there's our last team. There's a 14, so let them go by. I'll get the puppies. Actually, we can all just, I think we're going to just head back and warm up.
Just hanging near the bottom.
Yeah, you want some food? Yeah, I'll get it.
Yeah, they are. But you guys can kind of go right here, follow the dog team, and if you're ready to like warm up, you can head into the lodge and take those boots off, or reunite with your group if they are over there.
They're so cute.
Them puppers.
Mama's too in action. I can't help it. That's okay. It's a great gift.
crazy, aren't you?
Not get rid of it.
Yeah. Or not? No?
He likes it, you can tell.
Yeah. Keep running away.
Oh, that's big. He's under the crab. I had to put a special harness on him. The older age was like
You run away? Do not. Oh, are you scared of me? Oh, I think someone's scared of me. No? No.
He's a great lead dog. He's been like a mainstay on Dog Sled for pretty much his whole life until this year he got promoted to my team and did awesome. He's great.
It's LJ or Lou? I guess both.
You're a good looking one, aren't you?
The first
You got a beautiful coat. He's leaning.
Yeah, 1,000 miles of energy. You think so? Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah, the other one's not as much, but I put like 5 hand warmers in here.
Oh.
It's open.
Yeah. No, that was a good idea.
You're the champion, right? He's a good boy.
I mean, they have really diets, and so sometimes, right now they're like not running as much, so we're like we're still like experimenting. Every day, like you're trying to figure out like what's too much and what's too little. And sometimes they might eat too much kibble and they get real stinky poops. And,
Yeah.
I mean, even on a good day it stinks, so it's just like that's what poop is, I guess. Gotta get used to it around here. But yeah, it's much better in the winter. It's frozen. Not today, I guess, because it's warmer, but in the summer, this is all like a riverbed, warmer riverbed. There's like rocks everywhere.
Oh, wow.
In the rocks. It's not enjoyable. So yeah, you guys want to like pet these guys, you're welcome to do it. Otherwise, we're gonna probably head to the lodge and get some dogs ready to rock. Whoever was talking about the sideways dog, that's him over here, Bishop.
Sideways dog.
Yeah. Like he runs the crab, but, Yeah, these guys both finished at Iditarod with me. Rick was on the winning team, Cobra and Viacon too. They're like twins, they just like look the same and always run together.
What are you doing out there?
So they take her back?
Yeah, they're, yeah.
Harness on, harness off.
What's up?
Here, did you see if we got the 8 heli here?
You still only have 50s?
Let me check, I got it.
Check.
Or you have 220s?
I'll check. Let me get my...
I can go into the... I can get my wallet. I think I got 20.
Gamble.
I think you only have 50s, right?
I'll check.
Yeah, let me...
You have a confused look on your face.
I'm like, why are they getting in there? Oh, we need
Oh, Leanda's getting something from her couch.
Yeah, that's why I had a confused look.
Yeah.
How was it?
It worked out really well. Really a lot of fun.
Good. Yeah, it was pretty out there.
Oh yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It went the speed you were imagining, or?
Well, I mean, the orientation made it seem like we're gonna be going so fast it'd be almost dangerous, but it wasn't like
That
that.
was my concern.
Yeah.
Was it gonna be
Yeah.
so fast?
Yeah, actually I wasn't even using the brake at all until I had to
No,
stop
I didn't
since it was
Oh, really?
someone.
Okay.
Yeah, if someone was in
There's
front of
been
me.
times where I'm full on the brake and just like, you know.
Yeah.
It just depends on the dogs and what's going on, I guess.
Yeah.
So, better to be prepared for a fast team than get surprised, I guess.
Yeah.
Basically, whatever dog I'm petting at the time. My favorite dog's Todd.
Do you recognize all of them?
Oh yeah.
Or like, can you distinguish all?
Oh, I know a lot more than that. Yeah. I mean, I live here. My house is literally right there. Yeah, I know their brother, their sister, their cousin, their aunt. I know their favorite snack. I know their grandparents. I know where they like to run in a team. I know what kind of conditions they like. I know what their feet look like. I know what kind of coat they have. I know if they run hot, if they run cold. Yeah, I know a lot.
Do they normally have a favorite, like, partner that they run next to or in front or behind, or they like?
Sometimes, yeah. It does help a lot, like, especially just in the running styles of them, but yeah, we definitely try to do that. Size pairings help a lot. You know, not to have like Chaz, who you saw as a mini horse, and then Roger, who's like 30 pounds. Yeah, based on their gaits and their size, it helps pairing them that way. But if you guys are good at math, you guys know what like combination numbers are. The number of different combos you can get based on certain numbers of things. Well, the number of pairings and setups you can have on a dog, including lefts and rights, is 16 times 15 times 14 times 13 times 12. It's like a million different combinations. Yeah, so I mean, we don't really have a set combo. You just like keep figuring it out. And you're like, oh, that's awesome, or oh, that's never gonna work.
So in your training, you kind of switch them off.
Often, like all the time. Like when we go on training runs, it's always a different combo of dogs. And some don't get along, so you're like, well, just don't put those two together. Yeah. Alright, so, you guys did a great job, thank you. You did a fantastic job. If you guys need to use the restrooms, feel free to help yourself one more time before you part ways. Any boots, anything you guys borrowed from us, you can just leave it scattered in here, it's fine. We'll take care of it.
Thank you so much, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. No one's got to play with the coffee? In the car, maybe. In the car? Oh, yeah.